Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, have addressed Biafrans with a powerful message. Simon Ekpa, during a live broadcast, showed a strong emphasis on Biafra nationalism and the vision of an independent Biafra. Simon Ekpa, while addressing his audience and Biafran supporters all over the world, outlined several key points. Simon Ekpa accuses Nigeria's leadership of corruption, criminality, and failure to address the needs of the Biafran people. He argues that Nigeria's governance only benefits specific ethnic and religious groups, perpetuating division and injustice. Simon Ekpa reiterates the goal of creating an independent Biafran state. He emphasizes that this vision includes a united Biafra where citizens can live freely without fear, likening it to the freedoms enjoyed in Europe. He issues a caution to individuals like Bianca Ojukwu and others who may oppose or criticize the movement, warning of repercussions for any perceived sabotage against Biafra movements. Simon Ekpa criticizes African leaders who promote Pan-Africanism but do not support the Biafran cause, suggesting that Biafra represents a true Pan-Africanist movement. He singles out South Africa's Julius Malema for misplaced priority in supporting Pan-Africanism without addressing Africa's struggles against oppression and terrorism. Simon Ekpa also announced a planned historic event which will happen on December 2nd, 2024. And that event is to officially restore Biafra's independence. He stated that on 2nd December 2024, Biafra will be declared as an independent state all over the world. This event set to occur in Finland and will include unveiling a Biafran passport, currency, flag, constitution, and a map to delineate Biafran borders. Simon Ekpa stated that on the day that Biafra will be declared as an independent state, that day the Biafran passport will be unveiled, the Biafran currency will be unveiled, the Biafran flag will be unveiled, the Biafran constitution will also be unveiled, and a map of Biafra will also be unveiled. He details strategies for gaining international legitimacy for Biafra, outlining diplomatic, political, and armed struggle approach. This includes setting up Biafra's own judiciary and gradually removing Nigerian influence from Biafran territory. Simon Ekpa calls on all Biafrans to support this vision, emphasizing the need for commitment and participation in the struggle. Simon Ekpa's message reflects a determined push for Biafran independence and challenges those who oppose it, while rallying supporters around an upcoming event in Finland aimed at solidifying international recognition for Biafra. Simon Ekpa announced that Biafra's government in exile plans to officially declare Biafra's independence on December 2nd, 2024 through a convention in Finland. This convention will serve to restore sovereignty, adopting official symbols like the Biafran flag, national ID card, and currency. Also, Simon Ekpa issued a 72-hour ultimatum for the Nigerian government to return all Biafrans that have been detained in the northern region. He also warned Bianca Ojukwu against political actions seen as counter to Biafra's interest, saying that anyone perceived as an obstacle will be opposed. He warned Bianca Ojukwu to mind her ministerial position as a Nigerian minister and stay clear away from Biafra activities. Simon Ekpa criticizes figures like Julius Malema and PLO Lumumba, suggesting that Pan-Africanism, as they represent it, fails to address African needs. He argued that Biafra will set a new model for African unity and independence. Simon Ekpa's broadcast detailed the creation of Biafra's constitution, institutions, and judicial systems. He outlined plans for self-defense and for progressively dismantling Nigerian state influence within Biafra through non-violent and armed resistance if necessary. Emphasizing international backing, Simon Ekpa highlighted diplomatic efforts to gain global recognition for Biafra. He announced that dignitaries and international representatives would be present at the convention, marking Biafra's step towards legitimacy on a global scale. I'll play the video for you guys to watch and see for yourself.
Members of the cabinet, good evening. Admins of Biafra, Liazen in different states of the United States. I welcome all of you, the cabinet members, ministers and head of department of the Biafra Republic government in exile and the Biafra de facto government in the homeland. Good evening from here. It's another honor to be with you today in the U.S. town hall meeting. The enemies are quaking and have all seated in their various gossiping locations to watch again how we fund our liberation, because that is the biggest mystery to them today. You've seen them releasing research articles and many papers on how Biafra government is funding its liberation. They took their time to start analyzing, researching on our fundraising, and at the same time including the views we've had on Twitter. They themselves have posted and published their own finding that my X posts have over 226 million views on X alone, so they can understand the magnitude of what Biafrans are doing globally. And I've challenged them to publish their own drug lord criminal president Tinubu views. Let us see who is interested in listening to a convicted criminal in the United States. My fellow Biafrans, I want you all to understand that our freedom is here. My speech today will be very brief, and I hope, but I would like to point and touch many places and many issues. One is that I want to use this opportunity and medium to send a warning to Bianca Ojukwu to stay clear from anything sabotage against Biafra. If she wants to continue to have her peace, Biafra people will not look at anybody that stand on their way to freedom. Her husband led the war when Nigeria declared war against Biafra people. The great Iroko of Biafra, which is her late husband, commanded Biafra armed forces. And of course, he was the president of Biafra during that 3 years of genocide. So we are not going to trade our freedom for anything political position, because a lot of people have expected me to react on the so-called frivolous appointment of Bianca Ojukwu. The reason I have not reacted is that it is not my business. And I believe it is none of Biafran's business. She is a politician. She believes in Nigeria, and that is her own choice. She is just one person, one woman with one vote. Today, you don't expect me to start reacting when 50 million Biafrans have consented to this Biafra government, giving this Biafra government consent and the authority to fight for their freedom. So who is Bianca Ojukwu? Only one person, one woman. So I don't want to waste my time, but it is very imperative that I bring this message to her. So long as she maintain her lane, mind her business as a politician under Nigeria, we don't have problem with her. But where we are going to have problem with her is when she used that position to fight against Biafra in any capacity. Then Simon Ekpa will change to whatever that will suit her, and then we will engage her in any way possible. For now, she can enjoy her appointment. I have no business and I have no issue with her appointment under Nigeria. You know, the question they used to ask, when will Biafra come? This question has always been what has been in the mind of the enemy for decades. They come like friends, they laugh, and at the end, the question is actually meant to mock the Biafra agitation in those days. My fellow Biafrans, today is Sunday. I would like to read the Bible today. I would like to read from the book of Ecclesiastes 7. The book of Ecclesiastes 7, I'm going to read from chapter 7, and I will read verse 7, and I will read 9. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Number 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger rested in the bosom of fools. When you expect the Biafra government and myself to act on certain issues, we don't delve into things with our anger. We take our time. But when we start, the entire world will know that we have started. They used to ask you, when will this Biafra come? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu mentioned this in one of his broadcasts. Always there, when will this Biafra come? When will this Biafra come? That's a question that many, both the good and the bad, carried in their heart for decades. But that question now has an answer. The question finally has an answer. And the infinite answer will come on December 2nd, 2024. My fellow Biafrans, as we continue to put in place the delegitimization of the Nigeria terrorist state within Biafra land, we are taking it one step at a time. We are not in a hurry. This is a fight that have taken the life of millions, and we've fought this for over 50 years. The Biafra government 72 hours ultimatum to return all the Biafrans that were kidnapped from the old eastern Nigeria and taken to northern Nigeria and other part of Nigeria to detain. Many of them have been detained for many years without trial. That 72 hours ultimatum ends today. And we have seen reactions from different courts. One of them is the court, the Owerri Appeal Court. They have announced temporary shutdown because of security concern. This particular shutdown, it is now very evidently clear that Nigeria have no intention of returning our brothers they kidnapped from eastern Nigeria and taken to different detention facilities in the northern Nigeria, or maybe many of them have been killed. So, knowing what we do not know about the fate of our fellow brothers and sisters, both women and children, that were taken in the name of arrests. So they decided to lock down because they can't provide our brothers they kidnapped from eastern Nigeria and taken to northern Nigeria. I want to use this medium to inform Nigeria terrorist state this evening that this temporary lockdown, because they could not provide our brothers and sisters they kidnapped, should not be temporarily. They have locked down permanently and indefinitely. I will never reopen again. I want to let you know that the evil will only strive when good men keep quiet and silent. In the absence of good men, the evil men will always strive. Nigeria have shown to be evil for decades, and in all this evil of Nigeria, the good men have always been terrified, fear, and they remain silent for many years. Today, many good men have risen up, and they are all in Biafra government in exile. And so we are going to commit a great violence on this Nigeria state, because that's exactly what is going to restore peace. And it has started. We are going to delegitimize Nigeria institution by institution, step by step, organization by organization, government by government, and at the end, they will leave our land. And we will have a peaceful nation where our children and women will live and walk in the night without anybody kidnapping them. Just like we all enjoy in Europe, where we can wake up 2 a.m. in the night, go to shop without anybody molesting and without anybody being afraid of being kidnapped. That is the vision we have for Biafra people. I want to also let those who are shouting Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism died with Biafra, and it will rise with Biafra. A lot of people are making noise all over Africa, especially those who have access to media. They say, oh, what do you have to say about Pan-Africanism? I have not actually took my time to address them. But today I will make touch on Pan-Africanism. And I want you to look around yourself. Look around Africa. How many people do you see in government in any African country that is shouting Pan-Africanism? None. Only one. And he is called Malema, Julius Malema. Julius Malema is the only one in government shouting Pan-Africanism, but he is making a very terrible decision. His Pan-Africanism can never yield any result because it is a complete misplace of priority. You do not support evil because you have a platform. Julius Malema will be shouting Pan-Africanism, Pan-Africanism, but in as much as Arafat supported Mandela, that is not a reason to support terrorism against Israel. What happened on the 7th of October was a complete terrorist attack and must be differentiated. You must be able to differentiate terrorist attack and struggle for freedom. Malema, with his Pan-Africanism, refused to understand the difference between terrorism and fighting for freedom. Another person who is shouting for Pan-Africanism is Professor Lumumba. He is not in the government. So what am I trying to say? The only person that have a voice shouting Pan-Africanism today is Malema, and he is in the government of South Africa. So if you know that you actually love Africa and you really want Pan-Africanism to come to reality, there is a need for you to support Biafra, because that is where the Pan-Africanism will rise. You need people in the government that knows what Africa people need. And Biafra have young, vibrant men and women who will make that Pan-Africanism to become a reality. So if you don't support Biafra, your dream is dead and dead on arrival. My fellow Biafrans, December 2nd, we are going to make history. This December 2nd is sacrosanct in the history of Biafra, as we are going to fulfill our destiny on that very day. The heaven and the earth will stand still to witness the occasion. The sun will bear witness, and the enemies will tremble before us as the world behold the emergence of the United States of Biafra on international stage. For decades, Biafra have stood firm, fearless, resilient, and unwavering against Nigeria, terrorism, and oppressors. Today, we on the brakes of the new era. We are ready to claim and reclaim our destiny and officially restore Biafra as an independent nation. This isn't just the culmination of journey. It is fulfillment of a dream that our ancestors and heroes set in motion long time ago, between 1967 and 1970. Their vision is now our reality, and every Biafran alive today is part of this historic legacy. Those of you in the United States that has made us to realize this dream up to this point, you are a hero and heroine of the Biafra nation. The Biafra Convention 2024, from November 29 to December 3rd, 2024, these days, Biafran from all over the walks of life will gather in Lahti, Finland, for a 5-day event that will mark the beginning of the new era for generations to come. This is more than just convention, and I'm telling you, the enemy are not happy. They have done everything thinking that Nigeria can control and can get anything they want. But today, we are not just asthmating them. We are showing to them that not every country supports evil. It's a unification of a people reclaiming their identity, purpose, and future. The energy will be electrifying, historic, and the pride uncontainable as Biafrans come together to declare their restoration of their sovereignty. This monumental and historical event will showcase the symbol of our independence and identity, and here's what we have in stocks. For those who have been asking questions, what is this convention all about? You want to declare independence in a foreign land? We are not declaring independence in a foreign land. The independence of Biafra has already been declared. We are only restoring our lost sovereignty. Just like the Lithuanians. The point is that the people don't read history. We are not going to be the first country to restore a lost sovereignty state. We will launch the Biafra National Identity Card and Passport during the Finland Convention. And finally, making every Biafran place and belonging official across the globe. We will unveil Biafra Ejema during this convention. The Biafra currency will be unveiled. A testament to our economic independence and strength. The flag of the United States of Biafra will be raised, standing tall as a banner of our unity and resilience, representing Biafra to the world. We also will adopt the Biafra Constitution during this convention, a document that enshrines our rights, principles, and governance for our new nation during this convention. We will also present the map of the United States of Biafra officially, defining our rightful borders and land. It is not just a map. It's a declaration of our place in the world, my fellow Biafrans in the US. We have dignitaries that will embrace the convention in Finland. Powerful policy makers from different parts of the world will be present in Finland. Powerful speeches will echo throughout the event with delegates and key international figures voicing our shared struggle for freedom, resilience, and determination. And in a formal oral declaration of independence, of the restoration of the independence of Biafra, we will outline each vital aspect of our freedom step by step, solidifying our path to sovereignty state. This convention will also feature national debate on the issue that matters most to our new nation, uniting Biafrans from all backgrounds, representatives from across the 40 United States of Biafra, delegation from the different countries where Biafra has their liaison offices, and vote on bills creating the legal backbone of our nation. The establishment of the declaration document will formally declare our restoration of independence of Biafra, marking our collective vision for the future. And to seal this commitment, Biafra delegate will sign this historic document symbolizing our dedication to a free and independent Biafra. This is just the tip of the iceberg, as many other incredible things will unfold as the United States of Biafra begin to formally enter into bilateral relationship with other existing nations of the world. And in this convention, we will have one of the emerging nation president to be part of it. This is not just gathering of people. It will be unified voice of over 50 million Biafrans who have already voted in the self-referendum, reflecting the clear will of the people to establish the United States of Biafra. On November 28, the final vote count will be concluded. And if the majority says yes to independence of Biafra, Biafra people will give the Biafra government the mandate on December 2nd to officially declare the restoration of independence of Biafra, fully defend it. The Biafra government will then be empowered by this legal document that will be generated from this convention, and granted all legitimacy over a sovereign and independent United States of Biafra. This whole world will be watching, and the history awaits us all. I want you to understand that once this document has been generated and the Constitution of Biafra is voted on, which is a continuous document, a living document from the 1967 to 1970, the battle for the recognition of Biafra will then begin. At the same time, the legitimization of the Nigeria state within Biafra land will enter gear 10. And as that is happening, we will continue to make sure, like the court have shut down today, we will not have any single Nigerian representative from that institution, because what they have done to us will take us decades to recover. They have brought, the judiciary have brought anarchy, insecurity, and what have you in Biafra land. And the earlier we eradicate them, the earlier we evict them, the better for us. Biafra government have already laid down all the principles and mechanisms to begin to set out the judiciary of the Biafra government. It's going to take us time. If you think that this is going to be easy, think again. But let me tell you, we have every template, step by step. And you can see we are winning this war even without firing a shot. The diplomatic approach, political approach, and armed struggle approach can never fail us this time around. We will make sure we give sleepless night to those who don't want us to sleep. We will give violence to those who brought violence to us. We will defend ourselves with the same mechanism they have come to kill our people: guns and bullets. I want you to be very proud of yourself, because it is because of you that Biafra land have seen and enjoyed peace. Irrespective of the propaganda, do not listen to them. Every one of us, every true Biafran, the 15 million Biafran people who have voted for the self-referendum knows the what, and they trust this government. And that is the reason every time we ask them to do something, they do it willingly, because they know it is all for their good. The price they pay today, they will enjoy tomorrow. If you have not joined this struggle, I don't know what you are waiting for. The time is now, because tomorrow may be too late for you. We will continue to defend our land against Nigeria state. We will continue to demand the withdrawal and the militarization of the Biafra land. We will continue to make sure that all checkpoint is dismantled. It does not matter how long it takes us. We will continue to engage them one after the other until they are gone from our land. Thank you very much. Airborne to the Biafra Defense Force, airborne to the Biafra Liberation Army. They have not even seen anything. We will give them madness, and at the end, everybody will hail Biafra, and we will give glory to God.
I'm not a tribalist, and that is what makes us different. We want, if I'm criticizing you, I criticize you with fact and figures. I'm going to tell you how all of them are. Do I explain? One, starting from Atiku. Atiku was indicted in the United States for money laundering. He's a criminal. How do you think that if Nigeria is a United States, Atiku will come back and start contesting with the criminal record he has had for money laundering? And Tinubu was indicted in the United States for drug pushing. The records are there. So it's criminal. Nigeria is being ruled by criminals, and they break criminals. Peter Obi his name was in Pandora. He didn't deny it. It's also the part of money laundering, international money laundering crime. He has $15 million in offshore accounts. But surely Obi, being a southerner, is on the side of your people. That is the problem. Why must you have somebody that have to be in the side of my people? That is the dangerous diversity that have brought us this far, because it will never work. Everything about Nigeria is what favors my people. I don't want what we want a Biafra where everything favors everybody. But when you have Nigeria, it is either Fulani. Now we don't even have Hausa anymore, because Fulani have overshadowed them. So it is either you are fighting for Natana as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue that?
This live broadcast by Simon Ekpa the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, mark a major update in the ongoing story of Biafra's struggle for independence, and the passion in his voice was unmistakable. For those not fully familiar with the Biafran story, it is about a region in southeastern Nigeria with a strong cultural identity and history of resistance. And there has been a long-standing fight to establish Biafra as a separate nation. This broadcast brings a fresh wave of commitment. Simon Ekpa emphasized that his message isn't about division or tribalism, but rather a genuine desire for an equitable and peaceful homeland for Biafrans. In his words, Simon Ekpa sees Nigeria as a country ruled by criminals and filled with dangerous diversity, where leaders, despite criminal records or corruption allegations, still remain in position of power. In his view, this broken system perpetuates Nigeria's problems, where loyalty to regional or religious group often outweighs national integrity. For Simon Ekpa, Biafra's independence isn't just about freedom from Nigeria. It is a chance to create a nation where fairness is the foundation. Simon Ekpa paints a picture of this Biafran nation and refers to it as a place of unity, unbordered by internal division. Biafra, he says, would be a place where one could roam freely, safely, even in the middle of the night, without fear of being kidnapped or harmed, just as he has experienced living in Europe. It is an ambitious vision, but Simon Ekpa believes it is achievable, especially as he criticizes the Nigerian state for its failure to keep Biafrans safe and respected. As he speaks, he addresses influential Biafrans like Bianca Ojukwu, warning her against actions he perceives as sabotaging Biafrans' interest. Bianca Ojukwu is an important figure due to her connection to the late Odumegwu Ojukwu, the leader of Biafran who originally declared the Biafran independence in 1967. Bianca Ojukwu is the wife of General Odumegwu Ojukwu, and that is why she has to be taken seriously. Simon Ekpa seems to be saying that while she has the right to engage with Nigerian politics, she should be cautious about supporting moves that could undermine the independence movement. According to Simon Ekpa, any actions from her that appears to threaten Biafran independence may receive a response from him and his followers, leaving no room for neutrality in this struggle. What is particularly striking in Simon Ekpa's speech is the urgency and intensity. His announcement of the 24th Biafra Convention from November 29 to December 3, 2024 in Finland is his way of saying to Biafrans, history is in the making. This event is not just a regular gathering, it is a grand showcase of the Biafran identity and a launchpad for their envisioned future. Among other monumental moments planned, they will launch a Biafran national identity card, passport, Biafran currency, and a constitution that will define their governance. He even talks about a formal declaration of independence expected to bring global recognition and finally establish the Biafran state on the world map. Simon Ekpa also highlights December 2nd as a historic date for Biafrans. According to him, this will be a day when heaven and earth will stand still. His words carry an almost mythical quality as he describes this date as a turning point, a moment for Biafrans everywhere to rally and declare their restoration as an independent nation. For Biafrans, this means a lot. Their history is filled with painful memories of the Civil War and the heavy toll it took, leaving scars that last generations. But Simon Ekpa's message is filled with optimism. It is about reclaiming a dream that began with their ancestors. There is also a deeper global appeal in his words. Simon Ekpa speaks about Pan-Africanism and is critical of leaders like Julius Malema and Professor Lumumba, who, while vocal about African unity, haven't, in his view, taken the necessary stand for Biafran independence. He argues that supporting Biafra is crucial to making the dream of Pan-Africanism a reality, a way to empower Africans truly. It is his way of rallying African unity behind the Biafran cause, suggesting that only by standing with Biafra can these leaders uphold the ideals they preach. Then there is the tense moment when Simon Ekpa issues a 72-hour ultimatum to Nigerian government demanding the release of Biafrans detained across the country. He notes that when this deadline expired, one of the responses was the shutdown of the appeal court, something he interprets as evidence that the Nigerian government is unwilling to address Biafrans' rights or return their detained citizens. It is a stark warning. Simon Ekpa is committed to seeing that Nigeria doesn't continue to detain Biafrans without consequences. Simon Ekpa is clear that Biafra's independence isn't just a goal, but a duty for which they are ready to take extra measures if necessary. He talks about using diplomatic, political, and armed struggle approaches, committed to every means possible. His words are meant to reassure Biafrans that this movement is powerful and relentless, capable of matching Nigerians' tactics and pressures. He even promises sleepless nights for those opposing Biafran independence, a promise to push back hard against any violence inflicted upon them. The narrative he builds for Biafra is full of pride and patriotism. He encourages Biafrans to join in the fight. He believes that the 50 million Biafrans who voted in favor of independence are proof that the people are ready for this vision of freedom, for a nation where they can feel both proud and protected. He called out to those still hesitant, telling them this is the moment, the time to join is now, not later. Simon Ekpa ends his broadcast by paying homage to the Biafran Defense Force and the Liberation Army, expressing confidence that the Biafrans will ultimately prevail. For him, it is a question of resilience, of standing firm despite the opposition. He portrays Biafrans as united, determined, and willing to pay any price for the independence they believe is their right. To him, their time for freedom isn't just close, it is practically here. In this broadcast, Simon Ekpa shares a blend of hope, courage, and strategy. For him, Biafra's story is a continuous one, marked by hardship, but fueled by the unshakable will of the people, who believe they deserve to determine their own destiny. His words are passionate, filled with a sense of purpose and unity, and the message is clear. Biafra will continue on this path until it is a reality, and everyone who believes in the vision should stand by it. This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.